Looking for the best city to move to in Canada? Well, if you've been planning to move to Calgary, Alberta, or anytime in the near future, I'm going to go over the in-depth costs of living in Calgary so that you can decide if it's the right city for you. For this video, all the costs will be calculated and it will be shown on the screen, so you don't have to take any notes. There will be a link in the description below to opt in where you can get a downloadable cheat sheet with all the costs that I mentioned, plus the calculations and also some recommendations of services. If you don't know much about Calgary, Alberta, let's give you a quick intro. Calgary is a bustling and vibrant urban center boasting a glorious skyline surrounded by vast nature on all sides. The city itself is in Western Canada and sits in the sunny eastern foothills of Canada's Rocky Mountains, here in the heart of Alberta where the Bow and Elbow rivers meet. The city is surrounded by unparalleled beauty with a resource-rich natural environment. And by the way, did you know that Calgary ranked as the most livable city in North America in 2018 and 2019 by the Economist Intelligence Unit? That's pretty cool, right? Calgary earned the number 5 spot in the top 10 most livable cities in the world, ahead of Vancouver and Toronto. For a decent lifestyle in Calgary, the expenses can greatly vary depending on your choices. Hey, if you're new to our channel, my name is Jasmine Lai, and I'm a Calgary realtor with the LiveInnerCity real estate team. Every single week, we will be bringing you more new videos on home tours, community highlights, real estate tips, and more. And if you're considering Calgary as your next home, or perhaps for your next real estate investment, let our team of experts help you out. You can reach us at this email below. Before we start discussing the numbers, I'd like to throw out a quick disclaimer that the amounts discussed in this video aren't in any way representative of the final number you'll look to spend or pay once you live here. These average costs are here to help you know your budget and understand the affordability in Calgary. First, let's start out with housing. You can either rent or buy. If you rent a 2-bedroom apartment, the average is about $1,323 a month. For a house, you can rent from anywhere from $1,800 to $3,000 a month. And of course, these numbers do depend on size, location, amenities nearby, and upgrades. Rents tend to trend higher in popular neighborhoods and communities like in the southwest of Calgary and in the northwest communities. On a report that was released by the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation on the vacancy rate of rentals in Calgary, it remains at 6.6%, which is unchanged since 2020. This is a figure that has not been seen since the low point of the oil price crash recession back in 2016. However, we do expect the vacancy rate to decline as the demand from foreign and domestic students, immigrants, and those moving from other cities looking for a more affordable market begin to pick up. Now here's a bonus tip for you guys. Because of higher vacancies right now, you may see many new rental properties offering incentives or discounted monthly rents, or even a free month or two. For information on where to find a place to rent, you can check out these websites. Also, I'll leave them in the description below. Now, maybe you've decided that home ownership is the right step for you, or maybe you are transitioning from renting into now owning a home. According to the recent Housing Affordability Monitor released quarterly by the National Bank of Canada, housing affordability has deteriorated across Canada. The typical mortgage payment now takes up about 45% of the household income. And compared to every other primary market in the country, affordability in Calgary dropped by one of the lowest amounts, coming in second next to Edmonton. However, despite this fact, Calgary still grew more affordability annually, showing the best annual improvement among all the markets that was covered by this report. In Calgary, a typical house in the current real estate market is priced at about $505,000. To afford this, you will need an annual household income of about $100,000, and assuming 10% down and interest at 1.99%, the monthly mortgage payment will be about $2,000. And for condos, it's a little more affordable and attainable, sitting at a figure of about $247,000. And to afford condos in Calgary, the average household income must have an annual income of about $50,000. And using the same assumptions, the mortgage payment would be about $980. Of course, you'll need a down payment of at least 5% if you're living in it, or 20% if it's an investment. There are other costs associated with buying a home, and you can find out more by checking out this video, which I'll also leave a link for you below. And here's the general rule of thumb in your budget to add at least 1% of the value of your house price every year for maintenance and upkeep. Note that I'm not including any property taxes or condo fees, and just so you know, Calgary has no land transfer tax and no foreign investment tax. So far, this is our running total on the costs. Now let's talk about transportation and vehicle costs. You can take a taxi, hitch a ride, ride a bike, and there is also Uber in the city, but we won't consider these in our calculations since the cost can vary. If you're riding transit, it'll cost you about $109 a month for an adult pass. This will get you on the bus and the C train, and as long as you don't leave the boundaries of downtown, the C train is actually free. But generally, you will need a vehicle to get around the city. So for car registration, it costs $84.45 a year, and about $160 for 2 years. And for car insurance, the cost depends on your driver history, the car you drive, where you live, the number of kilometers you drive, and the coverage that you want, including your age. Here's a bonus tip for car insurance. Right before your car insurance is due for renewal, shop around with different insurers and you can see who will offer you the best rate. And the premiums can vary quite a bit between companies. So this can end up saving you quite a bit of money in the long run. Then there's gasoline prices, and of course the prices are always fluctuating. We can advise that you budget at least $250 a month if you're primarily going to be driving, and at least $120 a month if you're going to do a mix of driving and transit. Then there's home insurance, and although home insurance is not mandated by law, having insurance on your home is going to give you peace of mind, since it's going to be one of the single biggest financial investments that you make in your lifetime. It's a good idea to protect your property and contents against unforeseen risks. So here are the costs for home insurance. Condos average about $40 a month or so, and then houses average about $100 a month. And if you're renting, there's tenants insurance. Some landlords will actually require you to have this insurance in place before they rent to you. This usually is about $15 to $30 a month. Then there's health insurance for things that aren't covered by Canada's universal healthcare system. Things like medicine, dental, and vision typically. If you work a full-time job, most employers will provide these medical benefits for you, and there's a limit for this coverage, so you may need to pay additional for those items, so make sure you budget for it. If your employer doesn't cover it or you're unemployed, you can purchase these third-party health benefits from insurance companies. Let's look at utilities, which is electricity, natural gas, water, sewer, and garbage disposal. This cost depends on variables like the number of people living in the home, quality of the home build, the efficiency of major appliances. And just so you know, Alberta's cold winters mean that winter bills are significantly higher than summer bills. For a 900 square foot apartment, for example, the collective bill of all the utilities averages about $250, which includes all the utilities that I mentioned above. Sometimes these utilities are included in the condo fee. And for an average house, let's just say about 2,500 square feet, the average utility cost will be about $400 a month. And then there's TV and internet, and the typical TV, phone, and internet package costs about $120 to $180 a month. And if you're renting, sometimes your landlord will actually include these services as part of your monthly rent. Alright, so we discussed a couple of costs. Are you still with us, or did you fall asleep? It would make us happy if you can give this video a like and share it with anybody that you think it could benefit. Childcare costs. Parents in Calgary are typically expected to pay about $1,100 a month on average for infant care, and that's ranking the city about the third highest among all major cities in Canada. Only Toronto at $1,600 to $1,700 and Vancouver about $1,400 a month are ahead of him. In Calgary, typically a live-out nanny costs about $14 to $18 an hour, but can be as high as $20 an hour. Then we got groceries and food. You will need approximately $600 a month if you're a family of 4, and if you're 1 to 2 adults, you'll likely be spending around $350 a month. Here are some of the groceries you'll probably buy on a monthly basis and how much it costs. And then there's entertainment. Calgary's charm includes not only its stature as a modern urban center, but its Western culture, earning it the nickname Cowtown. Arts and culture and outdoor adventures are an essential part of Calgary life, and lots of activities come with it. Shopping is definitely great here with boutique stores to huge outlet malls, and only 5% sales tax applies. There's also an often overlooked great food scene here. No matter what you're into, we are going to set a budget of at least $200 for entertainment, since it's really based on your lifestyle. That's it. In total, if you will be renting or owning a 2-bedroom apartment, these 2 figures will be your budget. And if you're going to be renting or owning a house, these 2 figures apply. Don't forget to like and share and comment, and continue to follow us on our journey on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. It's Jasmine live from LiveInnerCity, and I'm signing out. Bye for now.